Hello CTET aspirants. So in today's video, we are going to start a new series of English medium students. Okay friends? As you all know that I have already provided all of you the CTET Child Development Pedagogy English medium notes. So I hope all of you purchased these notes. Okay friends, so let's start today's class. So if you really like this series I have started, so please let me know in the comment section so that I can continue this English medium CDP series for you. Okay friends, so in this today's video I'm going to start with wait a minute. Yes, child development and psychology topic. Okay, so let's start today's video. So now child development and psychology. So in this topic there is a very important topic called difference between growth and development. Okay, so if we talk about the paper, so 1 to 2 question conceptually on the concept basis frequently asked in CTET exam. So okay, so now let's start this topic, growth and development. So first we talk about that what is growth. So what about growth? So growth is termed as a physical change. All of you know that like height. Okay, so we can say that it's a growth. We can measure it. Okay, so growth can be measured. Growth occurs still at fixed age. Okay, so for example, if we talk about the height, so it occurs it grow still a fixed age. For example, if we say that 18 year till 18 year your height will be grow up. Okay, so development is said to be a, we can say, qualitative change, and development cannot be measured. If we talk about quality, we can say that in development we included social development, mental development, okay, moral development. So you can't see it and you can't measure it. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. So development lasts lifetime from womb to tomb. Okay, womb to tomb. And from development, students learn the ability of problem solving, reasoning, and numeracy ability. In that sense, we can say, for example, if a problem comes in front of a student, so student mind, we can say it's related to the mental development, cognitive development. Okay, cognitive development, I hope. Now let's talk about the types of development. So questions are asked frequently in this topic, types of development. Physical development is very important for you. Physical development, cognitive development, social and emotional development. So there are 3 types of development. In physical development, 2 main skills develop. Remember friends, these are the very important skills. You have to completely you have to learn these things, because 1 to 2 question will definitely asked in your exam. Okay, so now if we talk about what is gross motor skills, in the gross motor skills development involves the large muscles in the arms, legs and torso. For example, if you walk, run and throwing something and lifting something, so your gross muscles will move up, move down. So in this process the gross motor skills will develop. Okay, for example, walking, running, throwing something and lifting something. Okay, so in this process gross motor skills will develop. Now we talk about fine motor skills. So as you can understand with the name fine means, it means something very small and related to the small muscles. Okay, fine motor skills is the coordination of small muscles. Okay, that what I'm saying to you, small muscles in movement. It means movement of small muscles related to the fine motor skills. Okay, with the eyes, hands and fingers. Fine motor skills aid in the growth of intelligence and develop continuously. Okay, so it develops continuously, so it's a continuous process. For example, if we talk about using pencils, if you write with a pencil, so with your fingers obviously. So if we write this name Ram, and if we write something like this. So in this process our small muscles will develop. Okay, for example, knitting, writing and drawing something. Okay, I hope you understand. Fine motor skills, in the fine motor skills, small muscles, movement of small muscles will develop, and in the gross motor skills, large muscles movement. Okay, so I hope, yeah, these things will clear to you. Now let's move on to the cognitive development. So as you can see with the name cognitive, it's related to the cognition, and cognition related to the brain. It's related to the brain. It means cognitive development means the growth of a child's ability to think and reason. And think and reason means thinking and reasoning is related to the brain. Is related to the brainstorming. Okay, so you will think with the help of brain, right? So like language development, problem solving, reasoning ability, mental skills like imaginations, these all are happen in your brain. So in this process your cognition will develop. We can say that cognitive development occurs. Okay, so it's related to the brain, cognition. So now if we talk about socio emotional and moral development, this development I have already told you. Socio means it's related to the social, and moral, so these both are terms related. These both terms are related. Okay, so now this development is related to the socialization. It's very simple. Socio-emotional means socialization, related to the socialization. And Daniel Goleman first tell about the socio-emotional development. Who tells about the socio-emotional development? Daniel Goleman. This is a very important name. You have to remember it. Okay, friends. Now, if we talk about books of Daniel Goleman, it's also important. Can be asked in your exam. Daniel Goleman's books. First book is Emotional Intelligence and How to Control Emotions. This is the name. This is the name of the book. Book number 1. And book number 2 is Working with Emotional Intelligence. So okay, it's clear to you. Now we move on the important topic, principles of growth and development. So there are many principles of growth and development. We will see one by one everything. So first principle is principle of development direction. So we will understand everything with the meanings. Okay, so if you can see, as you can see, development direction, it means its development. This development is related to direction, based on the direction basis. What is written? When child development occurs from head to toe. You have to remember this term, friends, head to toe. It means when development occurs from head to toe, this is known as cephalocaudal. Cephalocaudal and proximodistal. Most important terms, you have to remember it. Now we see with the help of a figure, here you can see head to toe. When development occurs head to toe. Okay, so it means when head develop first, and after that the other things, head, neck, hands, and then we come down, then legs, okay, then your foot, and then toe. So it means this development occurs from head to toe, and this is known as cephalocaudal. This is known as cephalocaudal, as you can see here. Okay, and what is proximodistal? Proximodistal. So when child development occurs from central to periphery body segments, development in this direction is known as proximodistal. Here you can see that. See, when development occurs from center to periphery, means first center is developed. We are talking about the body parts. Okay, so first center develop, and after that we will go from center to periphery. So this development known as proximodistal, while this development is known as cephalocaudal. Okay, so in cephalocaudal development occurs from head to toe. In proximodistal, development occurs from center to periphery. I hope this thing clear to you. So as you can see here, friends, it starts from backbone to arms. We are talking about proximodistal. See, it starts from backbone, which is in the middle, and then arms, then hand, and then fingers. We are going from center to periphery, and this is known as proximodistal. This is very important. Okay, friends. And the second is the rate and the speed of growth and development does not same always. When you will see the previous year question papers, so you can analyze everything that this topic is very important. Almost 2 to 3 questions are asked from this topic, directly or indirectly. Okay, so the rate and speed of growth and development does not same always. It means if it does not same, then if it definitely will be different, right? The rate and the speed of growth and development does not same, it means it changes, it change from time to time, obviously. Now let's talk about the third principle of development sequence. As you can see, developmental sequence, it's related to sequence. So in a child language development, if we talk about language development, so language development takes place in a sequence and integrated way. This is important, very very important, we can say. So the sequence is as follows: LSRW. This is a trick you can remember with that. Listening, first a child learn listening, and then speaking, and then reading, and after that at last he start writing, right? And this thing integrate, these are the skills integrated form, these skills in the integrated form. Okay, so child language development takes place in a sequence and integrated way. Clear? Now we talk about principle of continuity and change. So in the questions, these things like this term, you can see examiner reverse this process. He will say that like it is not a continuous process, so options will given that it can be changed, it remains changed, it doesn't change. So these type of options you can see that. Okay, so now we talk about what is principle of continuity and change. So development never stops, it means it changes with time to time. Okay, so development is always on, it never stops, it change, whatever it is. So we can say development is dynamic. So this word is also important, development is dynamic, it change. Now let's move on the general to specific. General to specific means, if we talk about examples, so examples are specific, okay, while rules are in general form. Okay, rules are general while examples are specific. Now let's move on. Development proceeds from general to specific. In all areas of development, general activity always precedes specific activity. Okay, development occurs from large muscles movements to more refined muscles movement. What about large muscles movement? As we see in the previous lines, gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Large muscle movement is known as gross motor skills development, and while smaller muscle movement is fine motor skills. Okay, so as you can see here, gross motor skills to fine motor skills, development occurs from gross motor skills to fine motor skills. Okay, for example, in motor development, the infant will be able to grasp on an object with the whole hand, correct, before using only the thumb and forefinger. So I hope now this thing is clear to you. Now let's move on the next principle of integration. See, a child start to integrate or combine different parts along with the passage of growth. For example, a child speaks the different sounds at first, then after that he will integrate everything. So this is the principle of integration, how child integrates the all things, all knowledge he already have. Okay, so a child speaks the different sounds at first, but with the lingual development, as language development takes place, the child learns to integrate these sounds into words, and words to sentences, and sentences with passages. Okay, so sentences with meaning, of course these sentences have a meaning because language development already takes place. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you. See, I have written here sound, first come sounds and then words, and after that he will be able to make sentences with meaning. Those sentences contains a meaning, a proper meaning. Okay, so now we talk about principle of interrelation. As you can understand from the term, interrelation means something is interrelated, something is connected to each other. Okay, so the growth and development in various dimensions like social, mental, physical, emotional are related to each other. As social development takes place, so it is helpful in the development of mental skills. Okay, so now if we talk about the physical and emotional, so these every skills are connected to each other. We can't divide them. Okay, so this is the principle of interrelation. Everything is interrelated. Okay, principle of individual differences. As you can understand from the term individual differences, it means every person has a unique identity, has a unique behavior, unique quality. Everyone is unique. Okay, so this principle says that every person is unique, right? I've told you each person experiences a different response to an exercise program. Okay, in the same age groups of the boys and girls, there will be differences in their physical, cognitive and emotional development. Obviously this is very true. In the same age groups, if we talk about the boys and girls, there will be difference in their physical changes. Okay, cognitive, yes, their mental ability to think every topic on every topic, or we say about the cognition development will different. Okay, language development also, and emotional development. Emotionally they think something else, so the quantity are same but quality may be different. So this is the principle of individual differences. I hope this thing is clear to you. If we talk about the ninth principle, which is development is a spiral, not linear. It means development is not a linear process, like it's not occurs in this direction, it occurs in the spiral direction, like this. Development is not linear. It will move forward in a stage and then move backward in the other stage. As you can see, it goes forward and then it goes forward and then backward and forward and backward and forward and backward. Okay, so it moves in the spiral form, not in the linear form. Along with the length, the width also increases. So as length increases, as you can see here, as length increases, its width also increases, like this. Okay, I hope this thing is clear to you. These are I have written all these things in a bullet points, so it will come in your exam directly. Now let's move on the principle of maturation and learning. This is the last principle of the topic, maturation and learning. So if we talk about maturity, when maturity takes place, so maturity is totally related to your environment and your heredity, obviously. So if you we can say that development, maturity is related to, or we can say development is related to hereditary or environment. Maturity is related to the hereditary and environment. We can write here also, like if we say that maturity comes like heredity, effect on heredity and environment. Heredity and environment both affect the maturity. Okay, so I hope all these things clear to you. We will in the next video we will talk about child development stages, which is also important topic: prenatal stage, infancy, childhood and adolescence. Okay, so these notes are very, very comprehensive, and each and every topic I have written in these notes. If you don't have purchased these notes and if you want to buy these notes, links are in the description box, and I have given every detail about the notes. And if this video is helpful for you, and if you want to continue me this series for English medium CDP, so please let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Okay friends, so we will meet in next video. Jai Hind.